afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Mbuli. Today on the show, we're talking all things money, specifically wealth planning for women. All those really difficult but really important subjects like paying tax. We'll also be talking about money matters for children. Now, there are women on YouTube who've been making waves, and they're called Pop Culture, and they are live in the loft today. And join the conversation on social media. Our question is, should we be giving our kids pocket money, and how much is fair? Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or comment on our Facebook page. I'm not alone today. My girl Ayanda is in the kitchen.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. Great to be back in the kitchen again. And I'm not alone this afternoon. I've got the two heavyweights of the kitchen, and we are going to be having a main course this afternoon and some desserts. So, Clem, what are we doing for the main course?
So, you know, spring is officially here.
It is.
It's still cold in certain parts of South Africa, but we are braaiing. So this is an amazing dish to do on the braai. We're doing a porkish potato. We're going to do a pickled butternut spaghetti dish. Butternut spaghetti, you know about that? Yeah, it's going to be delicious.
You got a thing about pickles and things being pickled. What's
you
the deal
noticed?
there? Yes, I do.
And it's the first time we're in the kitchen.
Hey, all right.
I'm all about the pickle. We're pickling.
I love that. Okay, so I did mention that we are going to have a bit of dessert as well. So that means we do have another guest in the kitchen, Galetso. Good afternoon, and you've got to tell me, what are we making this? It looks delicious over here.
Well, everybody loves a good baked cheesecake. So today we're going to be making a baked cheesecake with a twist.
A baked cheesecake with a twist?
With a twist.
All right.
All the way.
I'm very excited about that one. From the ingredients, it looks like it's going to be something sweet and delicious, right?
Absolutely.
Sweet and delicious.
Very sweet, very delicious.
All right. So as you know, when it comes to making things delicious in your kitchen, you've got a plan. But when it comes to your pocket and your bank account, it takes a bit of planning too. Bonnie's on the couch talking wealth planning.
A goal without a plan is just a wish. A structured wealth plan that caters for your specific needs as a woman will guide you to make the right financial decisions to benefit you and your family in the long run. With us to give us a few handy tips in managing our wealth is FISA National Councillor and Director of Baraza Wealth, Angelique Visser. Welcome to the loft, Angelique.
Thank you very much for having me.
Wow. So how does having a partner or having kids affect our financial planning as women?
It definitely has a big impact on your financial plan, because obviously if you're a single person, you only calculate your own assets to determine what your net worth is. But when you have got dependents, whether it's a spouse or maybe children, you look at it completely different. But I think also what is important is to make sure that you know the marital regime that you married in, because that has a huge impact on what the assets would be. Then obviously you need to look and see, you know, if you die, who is going to look after my children? Because you will need to be able to provide for your children, because, you know, giving your children to somebody else to look after and also not the financial support to go with them could be a severe change in people's lives. So definitely looking at the children. And then also I think what women often do is rely on their spouses to prepare. And we as women, we need to take responsibility and make sure that there is a plan in place to make sure that we either invest enough to make sure that there's planning for the future, or, you know, make sure that there's life insurance and all of those other assets that we need to have in our plan.
I mean, that's totally understandable, especially for women when we have children and we have a family to take care of. We kind of feel overwhelmed, and sometimes that's why we leave the financial planning to the spouse. But specifically for single women, becoming financially independent is a goal. So where do we start?
Well, the first step I always say is to put a budget together. It sounds so basic, but I can assure you many people do not have a budget. And we all know where the funds come from, but it's surprising to see when you actually jot it down line by line to go through and see, where does my money go to? Because ultimately, you know, that amount that we need on a monthly basis will determine what is the amount that I need ultimately to when I retire or when I choose not to work. So you need to start contributing to your wealth pot. And once you know what your amount is that you need per month, or for the selected lifestyle that you want, then you know how much to put away every month to make sure that you can have that ongoing after you stopped working.
Right. How important is it to stay saving? I mean, especially when things get overwhelming or a new expense pops into your life, saving tends to take a back seat.
It often does, but I think it's quite important when, you know, I always talk about the wealth pot, and part of that you need to make sure that there's a savings element. And it's a reserve fund. So you always, the norm is about 3 to 6 months monthly expenditure that you need to have in an account that you can easily access, because if the motor vehicle breaks down or the kids need something, then at least there's funds that you can obviously tap into. And then after that you need to put other funds away, or, you know, whether it could be different asset class. It could be an investment that you start contributing towards or you could possibly go towards maybe buying a second property or a first property that you rent out. So those are the kind of assets that you will acquire to make sure that you've got the assets to grow.
What about stuff like health insurance, life insurance, disability funds? How important are those, and when should they start featuring?
If you're a single person with no dependents, life insurance in my mind is not that important, because if you know, you don't need to. But if obviously something could happen to you, you need to make sure that there's disability cover to make sure that that can supplement or maybe substitute your income. And then specifically if you've got children, you need to make sure that there's either life cover. And something that we also find from the Fiduciary Institute is that more than 30% of estates that are wound up have got cash shortfalls. And that's critical, because when you die and there's no cash, you can't, you know, the assets can't pass to the beneficiaries. And often if you're the breadwinner and you leave a spouse with children, they could be in severe financial destitute if you didn't provide for it. So that is quite important to make sure. And then also a will. I mean, that is just one of those basic things you have to attend to. And I think the Children's Act also specifically stipulates that you have to appoint a guardian in your will. So that is, and also, you know, a person needs to differentiate between a guardian and a trustee, because it's two different roles that people would play on behalf of your children.
Wow, so much stuff to think about. Speaking of kids, should we be giving our kids pocket money? How early, and how much is fair?
Well, I think the amount is going to depend on the circumstances, and parents need to...
Like how expensive the tuck shop is.
Absolutely, you know, what they need. But also, I do believe it's important, because there's a huge gap in education, I think, when it comes to financial training. Children should learn about finances. They should know that their money's got value and what it's got a purchasing power. And they should know, they should have a bank account. They need to be trained, and they need to have the discussion is, what is bank cost? How do you manage your bank cost? Keep your PIN safe. All those kind of things. And also it just instills a discipline in your children. So by the time that they earn a salary or have their own company, then they know a portion of that funds is actually going to be going away and being part of my wealth pot. So it's a discipline that actually starts young, that it's just natural. So, because I think our stats is less than 5% of adults can have the same standard of living after they have retired. And it's really just because we don't have the culture of actually putting away and growing something for the future.
What's the right age for our children to start having bank accounts?
It's once again not difficult. It's difficult to say exactly what age, because some children, you know, at 7, they quite, you can give them a bank account and teach them. Other kids maybe a little bit older. So it really depends. But I think you as a parent need to take that step and kind of, as soon as you think your child is ready to open a bank account, and maybe give them some pocket money and sit down going through with a budget and see. And because once they go through the process, there's learnings that they will take with them for the rest of their life, and they'll make mistakes, and that's fine, because it's in a controlled environment, and they most hopefully will not do the same when they're adults.
And they become comfortable and confident around handling money.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Angelique. You've definitely given us food for thought. Ayanda standing by to read your social media comments.
And we definitely want to know what you think about giving your child some pocket money. I love the idea that we are actually teaching them responsibility. The earlier, the better for them. So the question for this afternoon is, do you give your children pocket money, and how much do you give them? Do get in touch with us. On Twitter, it's @AfternoonChat, the hashtag Afternoon Express, and then on Facebook, it is Afternoon Express. So when we come back after the break, we will get into the kitchen, and I do believe there's a bit of pork belly action that's going to be taking place. In the meantime, let's get chatting.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Ayanda Dlamini with you in the kitchen, and I've got Clement with me. So don't forget that if you want to get the list of ingredients and of course the link to the recipe, you can SMS pork, that's your keyword, to 33650. Those SMSs are R1.50, and no free SMSs are allowed for this one. All right, Clem, it's pork belly. I know anything pork is delicious. It's probably going to have a little bit of crispy in it.
It absolutely is going to.
Take me through it, please.
So I'm using these amazing pork belly espetadas from Woolworths. They've already been seasoned. It's got the amazing Moroccan flavors happening. Okay. So you get 2 in a pack. And they're quite big. I'm going to come around the side.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I'm going to come to the side. And all I'm going to do is just pop them into a roasting pan, because the job's been done for me already.
Okay.
So I don't have to do anything more than just that. Okay. It's got this amazing, like, chili and coriander
Well, I'm
and
already
cumin.
smelling the
It hasn't even
spices.
gone into the oven yet.
Ooh.
Let me just wipe my hands underneath here
Okay,
quickly.
no, that's fantastic.
Awesome. So this goes into the oven. 20 minutes, you'll be eating. And like you said, it's belly. You know, you got the
Yes.
fat and you got that meat and all those amazing layers. So the fat crisps up and it becomes so
Okay,
delicious.
okay.
It's crazy. So it's literally turns out this crazy. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
You know, so
That's
if you don't
gorgeous.
eat pork, totally fine. We've got you covered. There are these amazing lamb pinwheels. Cook it exactly the same way.
Okay.
Easy peasy. Like you need to be entertaining all summer, okay? But you need to take a break. You can't be like slaving.
Not all the time.
Willie's has done it for you already.
Of
Okay.
course.
Cool. So that's done.
Okay.
We're gonna serve it with a bit of a pickle. As you mentioned, I love my pickles.
Yes, you
so
do.
We're gonna do a bit of a
All
dance
right.
again. We're gonna swap again.
Okay, I'm good with that.
So pickles are all about balance. It's deeper than that. It's like life. Life's
I know
about
it
balance.
is, but here's the thing about pickles, because, you know, depending on, you know, how they are made, it could get a bit, you know,
that's fate.
you get the face and it can be a little bit scary. So how do we go about pickling and making sure that we're not scaring our guests?
So there's two parts of the pickle. It's the acid, which is the vinegar today, white wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, anything, go for it. And then it's the sweetness, because you've got to counteract that acidity.
Please.
So brown sugar, white sugar, it's up to you, but it's your taste. So I'm going with quite a bit of sugar today, because as you said, some people go a bit
Yes.
harsh. So you dilute that sugar in there,
Okay.
and it's all about tasting.
Yes.
Taste it. Make sure you got that perfect balance. You want to get a little bit of the face, like, but not the, there we go. You
I
know.
love it. I love it. Okay.
So that's going to start melting on its own, and then have a little bit of heat. I know Bonnie's here today. Bonnie doesn't mind the heat.
Okay. I don't mind the heat either.
Okay, cool. So
I'm
one,
all about the heat. Okay.
One fiery bird's eye chili is going to do it.
Fantastic.
That's going to go in there. So one of my other favorite ingredients is sriracha. You know what sriracha is? It's this like Thai chili garlic fermented sauce. Okay,
hello.
it goes great on anything.
On anything.
Even
Okay.
cornflakes. Try
All
it.
right.
Jokes, don't
Love
do
it.
that.
Okay, no.
But
all right.
instead of that today, I've got sriracha seasoning.
Okay.
So it's all in the spice already.
Okay,
That
and we
goes
can
in there.
get this at Woolies as well?
Exclusive. Exclusive to
All
Willie's.
right. Very
That's in
nice.
there. And a little bit of lime, just for that lime flavor.
Okay.
And then one of my new favorite ingredients, butternut spaghetti.
No.
This is butternut, people.
Oh, I love that.
This is so cool.
Okay.
Look at that. So it's been spiralized for you. Great for kids. Kids love anything that's been spiralized.
love.
So
Okay.
that goes in there. And all you have to do is make sure that it gets really well coated in that sauce. Give it some love. Give it some. Just turn it through. But the trick is don't overcook it.
Okay.
As soon as it hits that pan, you turn the heat off, and that's enough liquid in there. And I'm using my hands because you can. It's not.
can. It's
You're not
not
supposed to
too
burn.
hot.
It's not
Yes.
supposed to get hot.
Okay.
The butternut takes on that pickling liquid, and it's amazing. So.
Well, the crazy thing about it is I've always thought about pickling and pickles to be in some sort of scary-looking jar. There's like somebody's fish eye looking at you. You know, there's an egg looking at you or an onion looking at you. And it's amazing how this looks and smells beautiful as
You
well.
can smell that pickling in there, and it's not harsh, it's not crazy. You can pickle anything, anything.
All right.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plate everything up. So we're gonna do the dance again.
Yes,
Swap.
here we go.
So I've got some organic baby herb lettuce over
Lovely.
here. Again, I got to do all my shopping at Woolworths.
Okay.
Job's easy.
There
That goes
we
on your
go.
plate, a beautiful plate.
Stunning.
And then some fresh cucumber.
Yay.
That
Never
just
go wrong
goes
with a bit
on
of
there.
greens. Okay.
Keep it nice and chunky. Just like that.
Beautiful.
And then some of
Beautiful.
this amazing butternut spaghetti.
Okay.
Gonna
Love
get
that.
in there just like that.
Love
Is it,
that.
hope it ends, hope it ends. There we go.
There we go.
So it's like beautiful. And let it
that's
fall off the
fun.
plate. Be creative. Don't like, gone are those days where everything must be, and there's
Perfect.
parsley on the end. No.
Oh, you gotta wipe the plate, make sure it's clean. Oh, that's a beautiful combination.
How amazing.
That is absolutely amazing. You know what I love about the spaghetti butternut? You can almost trick the kids. Because you know the whole trying to get them into eating vegetables?
I mean-
And this is fun. It's
Can you imagine? I mean, I joke with Bonnie. I tell Bonnie, get the boys to start at the one end and finish
then
at the other.
end.
And then
Oh,
they've eaten
I
like...
love it. They've had their
eaten
veggies.
Done.
I love it. Absolutely
What do you
stunning.
think?
No, I think it is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm definitely looking forward to tasting some of this. Now, of course, if you want to join us in making this delicious recipe for tonight, hint, hint, you definitely can get the list of ingredients and recipes. All you need to do is SMS the keyword pork to 33650 Rand 50. That SMSs and no free SMSs do apply. But then, of course, in case you've missed any of this, we do have the recap, especially for you.
wealth plan should not only deal with financial considerations, but also take into account tax consequences. And with tax season now open, it's important to understand how our tax works and to make sure our tax is sorted. They say that there are two things you can't avoid in life, death and paying tax. Actually, in love as well. With us is Senior Tax Consultant at BDO, Esther van Skalkwyk. Welcome to the loft, Esther. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you, Bonnie.
First of all, why am I paying so much tax? I'm kidding. Why is it important for us to pay tax?
Bonnie, it's often said that everyone must pay their fair share of taxes. Well, basically, when you pay income tax, you're making your contribution towards government to enable government to keep on running the country and maintain the infrastructure.
Yeah. And who should have an income tax number? At what age? How early?
Well, income tax numbers are not determined by age, it's determined by income.
By income.
So if you're a South African taxpayer and you're earning income in excess of certain amounts, you would need an income tax number and you'd have to be registered.
Okay. What about e-filing? It's all quite confusing sometimes. Is it better to e-file? Is it more efficient?
Yes, it's often more convenient to use e-filing. Anyone can use e-filing as long as you've got your income tax number and you've got internet access. You can visit SARS's e-filing website, sarsefiling.co.za, and register as an e-filer.
Now, when it comes to whether being employed or self-employed, how does that affect your tax?
Yes, it does have a big effect on your taxes. As an employee, you'd normally work for one employer and you'd work under his or her control and supervision. And your employer would then on a monthly basis deduct your employee's tax and pay it over to SARS as sort of a prepayment of your income tax liability for each year. At the end of your year, you'll get your IRP5 certificate from your employer, and you can then file that with SARS.
Yeah.
As a self-employed person, or sometimes we refer to them as independent contractors, you actually work for yourself, and no one will be deducting taxes on your behalf. You would have to register for provisional tax because you're not earning remuneration, and you would have to make prepayments to SARS twice a year of your estimated taxable income.
Wow. Wow. How does provisional tax work?
Right, provisional tax is for everyone who's earning income that's not remuneration. So normally people who are not employees would have to register for provisional tax, and individuals would be required to estimate their taxable income for the year and make two prepayments of their income tax.
Yeah.
One 6 months into the year, so by August of each year, and the other one at the end of the tax year, which is the last day of February each year.
If you're an independent contractor like myself, what kind of stuff can you claim back tax on? Like a home office, or what kind of stuff can I claim back on?
You can generally claim expenditure in the production of your income. When you look at a home office, you can claim expenditure relating to a home office, but there are certain requirements that need to be met. For instance, you'd have to show that you exclusively and regularly use your home office for your duties, that it's specifically equipped for your trade and earning your income, and that you mainly perform your duties in your home office. Then you'd be able to deduct things like rates and taxes, for instance.
And does that include stuff like my makeup, my petrol?
If only. No, generally private expenses are not deductible.
Okay. And now, it's tax season now, and when's the cutoff?
Right, so it opened up on the 1st of July, 2016.
That long ago?
I know. If you are a non-provisional taxpayer and you're an e-filer, you have until 25 November to submit your return via e-filing. If you want to submit your return manually or via post, you only have until 23 September.
23 September.
This year. So that's why I say it's often more convenient to be registered as an e-filer. If you are a provisional taxpayer, such as yourself, you will have until the 31st of January 2017 to submit your tax return.
And when I'm a provisional taxpayer, when do I pay my tax? Once a year or all year round?
Well,
I seem to be paying it all the time.
Yeah. You would be making those 2 payments. One at August is your first provisional tax payment based on your estimate of your taxable income. And your second and your final provisional payment would be at year end on the last day of February. If then it comes out that you underestimated your provisional tax, there is a possibility of a top-up payment for provisional tax purposes.
Yeah. And what happens when one gets into trouble with the tax man? What kind of stuff gets you into trouble, like owing the tax man a lot of money? And will I go to prison for that?
Well, you could, depending on the offence. Generally, not complying with income tax rules does constitute a criminal offence.
Wow.
It's just important to always, if you're claiming a deduction, make sure that you've got your supporting documents. Even if SARS does not ask for it, make sure you've got it in a file. You need to keep your records for 5 years. That's very important.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope I can contact you to help me with my tax.
Certainly, I'd love to.
Thank you for conversing with us on social media. Let's see what you had to say. Ayanda.
And I'll definitely be making that phone call too. It's a taxing thing, this thing about taxes. But we wanted to know from you at home. Do you give your children pocket money, and how much if you do? And Dale says lunchbox never disappoints, but I think they should be given money in order to make them happy and in order for them to buy something nice. There could be snacks and good treats. So I'd say a bit of both is fine for me. And then Snentlandla says, I don't. I simply prepare a lunchbox. I don't want them to get used to money, because when I don't have, it will be a problem, and they'll start having long hands and steal the money. Sasa says, yes, I give my child pocket money. 100 Rand for 1 week is enough just to keep her happy. I'll be your child any day with 100 Rands a week. So there's lots to do with that. But when we come back after the break, Bonnie sits on the couch with some young creatives as we chat pop culture.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express live on SABC3. The world of YouTube opens up many opportunities for people to take ownership of creating relevant content through entertainment. 3 local girls who've done just this by creating their own YouTube channel and creating relevant and unique videos are the ladies from Pop Culture. Let's take a look at what the girls get up to on their channel.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pop Culture. Hi guys, welcome to Pop Culture.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pop Culture.
No.
I just want to say I love the name of your YouTube channel. It's honestly great.
Oh my gosh.
It really is.
Thank you.
I feel like it captures what we need to be doing and just capturing young people in South Africa. That's the reason why. That sounds illegal.
So it's September and we're going to be talking about South African culture. We'll be talking about food, what else? Clothes, music, style, music, dancing, you know.
You're not ready for that one.
We're on a diet.
You know, I don't want to say it's a diet.
I mean, it's okay. She's
Let's
right.
start from here.
We're changing the words. When it's a diet, I mean, you get all these negative things. We're living a new lifestyle, you know. Take us to the greener pasture. Carrots.
Babe. Hey! Why are you saying no now? This is... What is...
But I think I was able to achieve
nothing.
A somewhat being able to help each other, be able to get information, being able to create spaces where people want to talk, being able to help people, teach them, and being those people that you know you can go to get what you need, and being able to say we are helping pioneer youth voices.
Was that the last question? Yes, definitely. Okay. I just want to say that I so enjoyed spending time with you.
I loved hanging out with you too.
You are lovely.
Thanks.
Oh, wow, I'm already in love. Joining us in the loft today is Pop Culture. Welcome to the loft, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
What was it like hanging out with Anne? Isn't she funny? She's wild.
She's really amazing.
Her sense of humor is probably one of our favorites. We enjoy just being in her company. And I think just the way she's just so comfortable with who she is, it just makes it so much easier to hang out with her.
Pop Culture is a homegrown YouTube YouTube sensation. Tell us about it. What is it? How did it come about?
So it's just a YouTube channel that 3 friends started. So we each wanted to start a YouTube channel or kind of a blogging thing in our own capacity. And then one day over dinner, we were like, oh, let's just do a YouTube channel. And we kept saying, oh, let's do it, let's do it. And then I got a camera. And I was like, guys, this weekend, let's actually do it. Yeah. And then we did it and people really enjoyed it, yeah.
And how did you guys meet? Have you always been friends, or?
I mean, I've been friends with THEMBE for like, I want to say 2-3 years, and then these two went to high school together. So BONGEKA moved to Cape Town last year, and then we just kind of, because they know each other, it was like, let's just hang out. And then from there, that's just how the sort of team was born.
Yeah. Tell us about the name pop culture. Obviously, it's a play on the pop culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Never meant to be like pap as in the meal.
As in papa, yeah.
No, I parish. And then so what happened was we were out for dinner with the one of the many chats before the channel. So instead of saying popular culture, THEMBE says pop culture. And then it's like, oh my God, we like it. We should keep it. And that's kind of how the name came about.
Yeah. You guys say that you want to change the documented narrative of African youth. How do you want to influence this space?
It's a hard question. But we kind of feel like the youth is seen as lazy, not informed, kind of, we just...
You guys aren't?
No. So we're kind of trying to have conversations with not only ourselves, but showing that we are having these conversations as the youth. We're bringing people in, we're asking experts to come and have the conversation with us to show that we're hungry for the knowledge. We want to know more. We like the undermining of the youth and, you know, this kind of culture of thinking that we don't want to know more, we don't want to empower ourselves, we don't want to be better, you know, is false. We want to be the best. We just obviously might not have the opportunities to do so. So that was us just being like, okay, so there's no opportunity for us to do this. We will create one of our own.
Right. And what kind of issues do you guys explore, and what's your approach to how you discuss them?
Well, I mean, it's quite diverse. We've gone from how to find a bae from a boyfriend all the way up to LGBTQIA issues, to race issues, to prejudice. So how we kind of go about sort of curating the content is it will go month by month. And we've, for the longest time, we've kind of worked off of public holidays. So just like this month is Heritage Month, our theme for the month is Heritage Month. But the topics won't be related directly to heritage. It would be, so for example, we had a video around fashion culture, street culture in particular. There's going to be a dance video coming soon. We're going to have a heritage dinner. So it all depends on what is, I suppose, trending that particular month, and then we'll tailor the content on a weekly basis. But we kind of, when we approach the content, we don't want to talk about it in your sort of generic way. So we want to bring it back to what conversations are you having behind closed doors with your family? You just switch on a camera and then have it on screen.
Well, the trending conversation on the show today is wealth matters, specifically financial independence for women. What are some of the ideas you guys have explored around that, and what are your thoughts about it?
Well, we haven't explored it in depth in our channel yet, but we definitely have spoken about it behind the scenes because we are lost. We need help. We definitely take whatever we can get, whatever knowledge that can be dropped onto us, we take it. And I think a lot of us, I think none of us learn really financial management in our schools or how to do taxes or anything like that. So these kinds of conversations are definitely necessary, and we like to kind of reach out to people that know more than what we do.
And what is your experience around money growing up? Did you guys get pocket money? How confident are you handling money? Because a lot of our money issues start when we're really young.
Yeah, I got pocket money, not a lot, but...
Speaking of which, I bought my son's little...
did you? That's very cute.
Are you teaching him?
I actually had
and
that
there's
too.
money. He even has notes in here.
Wow.
That's cool.
See, but the thing with the piggy bank, though, is like... It's money that you obviously can't see, but you know that it's there.
It's there.
But I think when you're young, it almost feels like a game. Oh, I'm putting in my £2. It doesn't manifest in a bigger lesson by the time I get older. Because when I started earning my own money, I was like, okay, well, I'm spending this money.
I'm gonna spend it, So I mean, I did that for a long time.
Exactly. And I didn't get pocket money. My mom believed in this kaftin, so I did not even... There came a time, I think, in high school where I even got over making my own sandwiches. And I was like, well, I'm just not going to go to school without this kaftin. Because I got over it, and I was like, whatever. And then I got to school, friends, tuck shop people who are kind enough to give me food. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
But the saving thing has definitely been tricky. And I think starting from a young age, but then I think my question would then be, how do you translate this lesson, you know, moving forward?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
What are your
for having
hopes for the
us.
future? How do you want your channel to grow? What do you see for yourselves?
100,000 subscribers, I think, is what we want.
Yeah, you got to bring in that money.
Exactly.
Yeah, and save it.
Yes,
Basically.
yes.
And also cross the borders. I mean, we have people that watch us from other African countries and also abroad in the US, but a lot of them are South Africans that are abroad. So, I mean, it would be awesome to have people that are in their native like country and watching us and being like, oh my God, we really like, because I feel like we talk about topics that transcend race and like country or whatever. Like, we're talking about money, everyone has to deal with it, you know. We're talking about heritage and where you come from, everyone has to deal with that. So many people stretching their hands and being like, guys, we love it, would be awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And just a reminder to you guys out there, we're chatting kids and money matters. And please send us pictures of your children's piggy banks. Ayanda.
All right, so we are talking about that, but just a tip to our pop cultural team of gorgeous girls. There are lots of people out there making a whole lot of moolah just off YouTube. Get those followers and you never know, your bank account may just look absolutely awesome in the next few years. So Matseliso Chiwanza says, my son is 11 years and I give him 50 Rand per day. Is that 50 Rand or 50 cents per day? I've noticed that kids do sometimes want to feel like they fit in certain environments. So at school that has a kitchen, it's definitely easier to eat similar food with others. So it's about pressure on that one. Zoe Charles says, hi, Anna and Bonnie. This is such a valuable topic. I opened my first bank when I was 9 years, nearly 20 years ago, and paid for my own expenses buying CDs and the likes. Now I am a mom. I have a 6-year-old, and he has a money tin. When he gets money from Granny, he saves it and buys what he needs for school. And the messages continue. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And I guess we're giving some other moms tips out there. When we do come back after the break, we chat fashion. Our magazine fashion director.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, live on SABC3. Now, spring is finally here and there's no better time to update our wardrobes. Exposed shoulders are definitely one of the season's hottest trends. And we invited style maven Taryn Oppel into the loft today to tell us more about it. The 80s-inspired cold shoulder and off-the-shoulder trends is making a comeback. It's all about being sexy without being over the top. And the best thing about it is that it works just as well on the red carpet as it does every day. And no matter what your size, there's a cold shoulder option for you. Woolworths has all sorts of styles to choose from, including tops, dresses, and play suits.
Lots to choose from, hey?
Look at you, girl.
Look at you, girl. Taryn, welcome to the loft.
Hello, thank
great to have you.
Good to be here.
So, Bonnie and I are definitely rocking the off-the-shoulder.
No, you're so on trend right
we're
now.
so on trend right now. Happy to be on trend.
I just forgot to bronze and shimmer them today.
No, you look good. You look good.
So, we're talking cold shoulder, we're talking off-the-shoulder. So, I guess let's start from there. The difference between the two?
Yeah.
Well, off the shoulder's been around for quite some time now, but the cold shoulders had quite a moment on the spring 2016 runways. The slight difference between the two is that the off-shoulder is basically what it's called. It's completely off the shoulder, so basically like yours. Whereas the cold shoulder is supported by straps or a panel up front, or it has cutouts where your shoulder peeks out slightly, so it's not completely revealed, so more like yours, Bonnie. Yeah, I think that people have taken to the trend and embraced it, like you today. Yeah. Because it really is the easiest runway trend to wear in everyday life.
Right. And here I thought cold shoulder was giving your bae the silent treatment.
there
We were mad at him.
Well, that too.
And how do we make the style our own?
Well, I've got 3 suggestions for you. The first would be, well, we haven't really reached the hottest of days yet. And if you really want to get a head start on the trend, one thing to do is layer. I love the idea of layering an off-the-shoulder top or cold shoulder top or dress under a sleeveless blazer or a coat. Another way to do it is to keep it simple. It really is a statement maker on its own, so there's nothing wrong with wearing classic denim with off-the-shoulder tops or with the tailored pants or shorts. And then thirdly, play with accessories. You could be daring and not keep it simple and have a statement up top and at the bottom by having an embellished heel or a metallic loafer or hair accessories that are really sparkly. And then for nighttime, throw on a beautiful neck piece.
Or a choker, like
or
your
a choker.
gorgeous one.
Or in the day, bold retro shades, for example. Yeah, I think any woman can pull it off. I've always said that a woman's shoulders are strongest and sexiest assets, so there's nothing wrong with flirting with the idea of showing off some skin.
Absolutely.
I love that, and I love that you're saying any kind of woman could actually pull this off. Now, for the sort of rounder sister who was also feeling like she'd like to show off her shoulders a little bit, it's okay for her, right? And would she need to wear a scarf? Do we need to cover up?
No, don't cover up. Be confident.
Yes.
Like I said, there's no such thing as a bad shoulder. Every woman has beautiful shoulders, no matter what size you are. Go for it.
Okay.
Oh,
I love
thank you
that.
so much. Are you going to be rocking the off-the-shoulder,
Well,
cold
I
shoulder? Which one are you doing?
am.
Cold shoulder, off-the-shoulder?
I'm going to do both, actually. I'm just going to do both. Why not? Yeah? And the nice thing about it is, and I love the way it shows off the collarbone. I think it's absolutely gorgeous for women.
Exactly. So flattering. Yeah. Like I said, anyone can do it, so why not?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Now, so how about it? Keen to show off your shoulders this summer? Then head to your nearest Woolworths to shop the look. We'll be right back.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Ayana Dlamini back in the kitchen. And this afternoon, we kicked it off with a bit of a main meal. We had some pork belly kebabs going on, absolutely delicious. And this time around, we've got a bit of a dessert this afternoon. So I'm definitely happy to be here. Galetso, you're going to take us through our dessert for today. I know it has to do with baked cheesecake.
Absolutely.
But not just your simple baked cheesecake,
Not a
right?
simple baked.
Not at all.
Not a simple baked cheesecake. This one is with a twist. So as we get into our best part of the meal, the dessert.
Always is.
Absolutely. So what we're going to start with is the base, because that's the beginning of everything. So what I've got here is some ginger biscuits. All right, some ginger biscuits and some almonds. So what I do is I pop them in here, if I can figure out how to open this thing.
All right. Higher grade. Okay,
high grade,
let's
high
see.
grade.
Let's see, it's one of those. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So
Man,
just pop a few of those.
So what I do is I pop a few of these in here. Some ginger biscuits.
Okay.
I've got some almonds over here that I pop into here.
And for those who can't do nuts, of course, that's a step we can leave out, right?
That is optional.
Okay, that's
all right,
optional.
So, and then I've also got a bit of butter that I throw in here. And pop this on top here. Blitz, blitz, blitz.
Okay.
Once this resembles a nice crumb texture, I pop it into my cake tin, press it lightly to the bottom, and put it in the fridge to chill.
Okay.
Then we move on to our cheesecake filling.
Okay, let's get into that.
Let's get into
so
that.
how do we do that?
What I've got in here is some cream cheese and cultured cream.
All right.
All right, so this goes into our mixer over here.
Mixer, fantastic. Okay.
Okay, this goes
Pretty
in.
straightforward, actually.
Pretty straightforward. It's so easy. I think you can really do this at home, with your family, with your kids,
Fantastic.
play around with it. All right, I've got a bit of flour in here that's going in there.
Very basic.
A bit of a secret ingredient, some ground cardamom.
Okay, all
Some
right.
ground cardamom, just to give it a bit of an interesting kick. And then what I've got, I'm going to use some salati caster snow, because it's so fine and it doesn't take long to dissolve. You know, it's such an awesome ingredient. And I really, really just love this ingredient. And then I've got some eggs that also go in there.
Okay. And obviously, amounts and things are dependent on how big you want this baked cheesecake of yours, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And then we start. Ooh.
Then
do I need an apron?
We mix
All
this
right.
thing. You mix it until it's got a beautiful, nice, smooth texture.
Okay.
Pop that into your chilled cake tin. Pop that back into the oven, 120 for an hour. So low and slow.
Okay. So my biggest fear has always been to burn.
To burn.
Because at home I am the burn queen. Burn, baby, burn. Because that's all I ever do.
This is absolutely burn proof. So once that is done in the oven, you take it out and it looks something like this.
Beautiful. Absolutely
So you're going to help me decorate this.
I definitely am.
Okay, we've got some fresh berries over here that I want to put over. So
yeah, can I just start? Can I just display?
You can do
absolutely.
best.
Okay, I'm definitely going to do best.
Do you want to maybe pass me the blueberries as well? And then I can help you over here.
Fantastic. Was there a reason why you chose these specific ones, or were you just going because they look pretty?
They're pretty, but it's berry season. They're fresh. I think cheesecake can be a very rich dessert, but the freshness and the tartness of the berries just give it a nice, clean cut.
Okay, beautiful.
And it looks gorgeous, so it's a win-win.
I love that.
I mean, again, this is something that you can really do with the young ones.
Squeeze that one in there.
Oh my goodness.
Look at me, look at me. All right.
From extra decadence, some melted dark chocolate.
Oh, you can never go wrong with a bit of chocolate.
Lovely, lovely. So
absolutely love it. And we can just drizzle.
Drizzle.
Oh my God, is that all it takes? You get to the cake store, it looks like it was done with a professional machine.
This is all it takes.
Okay, absolutely gorgeous.
A bit of fresh mint on top, just to give it a bit of an extra zing.
Okay.
And there we have it.
This looks absolutely amazing. So don't forget that you can get a hold of this specific recipe on our website. That is afternoonexpress.co.za. Well, this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm taking this with me. I'll leave you in the kitchen. Bonnie, you are going to love me right now. Ta-da, ladies. How's that for pop culture? We need to put that on YouTube, okay? We definitely do. Sure.
So, ladies, do you ever cook on pop culture?
We haven't. We actually have.
She has.
What have you made?
Welcome. I've made some samp, you know, if I've only cooked for Heritage Day, so I'd make like normal usu.
You made ulusu?
Wow. She's the wife.
Do you need a call?
She's our chef.
I hear you have sons. I mean, I know they're young.
No, very material. Let's book her now. We'll book her now.
Basically.
Sure. Oh, awesome. Then where did you get ulusu in Cape Town? I've been looking.
Where did we go? We went to some shop in, I think, a butchery in Claremont somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
but I mean,
too
washing
difficult.
it was quite a process. So I was dedicated to the washing piece, and then she cooked it. It tasted amazing, but I'm not, traditional food, I'm not the greatest.
Yeah.
Give me pasta.
There we go, girl. She's the pasta girl.
Light it up.
Nice. But the great thing about that then is if I was watching that and I want to learn, I would have learned from you on the channel.
We had 3 how-tos.
Just gotta subscribe and the rest.
There we go.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having
ladies. All the
us.
best with your channel. Now remember that all the spring fashion must-haves, from flirty blouses like we've got on today to subtle off-the-shoulder dresses, are waiting for you online at woolworths.co.za or in stores now. And make sure you join us again tomorrow. We're chatting all about heart health, as September is Heart Health Awareness Month. Plus, I'll be finding out the results of a heart age test on the next show as well. Okay, cool. See you tomorrow. Happy eating.
All right, so we're going to dig in over here. Because I worked hard.
Another feel-good production.